Actually, one of the major point highlighted by this article is the ES putting a um, hurdle for this settlement body. It's called as appellate body of WTO. If there is a trade dispute between the two countries, there could be a mechanism, legal mechanism, international legal mechanism in which we can settle the disputes. That was the establishment. But for the last 5 years, the appellate body is non-operationalized. Basically, that's by the blocking of US. That is the criticism of this article. You must go through this. Actually, WTO took over from GAT, General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs and Trades. After the WTO came in, so they got a dispute settlement mechanism after the establishment of WTO in 1995. So, but unfortunately, due to the US and other developed countries' uh, um, non-cooperation, I would say that's what I would say, and selective treatment. The WTO is almost is ineffective in the case of settling the disputes between the nations. So you can go through this. It's a beautiful essay. It remembers all the old stories. Yeah, there are two essays on the GST Council meeting, and also that the one on the economic state of economy. Uh, so GST Council recently met 55th gathering. It was the gathering, and there was a lot of talk about uh, change in the GST, rate changes, clarifications. Actually, there is a demand for the lowering of tax on health and life insurance, food delivery, but that they couldn't take a call actually. That actually again there is a major issue of popcorn that shouldn't have been an issue, but it was hyped much. Caramelized popcorn had to be led to a tax of 12%. That unnecessarily became an unnecessary issue of this. You can go through this. Such GST Council keeps on happening. In the 8 year, it's 55th GST Council. A review of rate. It is conducted for reviewing of rates and based on the inputs from the industry as well as from the public. So review is being taken, but a lot of decision important on being health and insurance sector that has been left out by the GST Council. There is a major cause of these two editorials. So ministerial panel also has, wanted to change the tax on certain rate, tax on certain items, but even that has not been considered. So criticism as the panel's head left the meeting early, stating it will hold further deliberation insurance policy levy soon. So it's beginning to hurt the industry too. So this is a totally critical essay. You can go through this. Yeah. So this about the environment law. Hope you can see this. Yeah, this is about the environment law. In the 2 days before, in state forest report came in actually 2023. There is one criticism that northeast forest coverage is coming reduced, and important point is 20% of the Indian land is covered by forest. So actually, this essay says that codification law is one of the important thing. And then there was a talk about the community forest too. So this is basically a critical thinking of shrinking of mangroves in Kutch and Andamans, and then endangerment of the open and natural ecosystem. Lacks details about whether its estimates of carbon sequestration potential of degraded land account specific uses to which they are currently being subjected. So it speaks about carbon sequestration and thinning of the forest. Also, the issues based on the biodiversity in the Western Ghats, Nilgiris, and Northeast, and shrinking of mangroves. A major point is that is the carbon sequestration potential of degraded land account. That is a major issue that has been missed. The Compensatory Afforestation Act. So this article says that Hindu have documented positive human resources, skill and equipment, control forest. That's very very true. Uh, Basically, there is paucity of manpower, human resources in the areas adjacent to the forest. It is the less recommendatory that those remunerations too less, so they couldn't find manpower in those areas to maintain quality. This is one important point. So this is basically a critical essay of the entire report. Major point being the figure covers the loss in the Western Ghats, Northeast, shrinking of mangroves, Kutch and Andamans, also the carbon sequestration potential. It doesn't speak of the because they are going for the community forest and other commercial plantations, which has lower sequestration and ecological value. So, and the continued use of the Compensatory Afforestation Act, Afforestation Fund Act. So, this is critical. This you make note of these things. It may be useful in the mains as well. This is one of the important essays. In a lot of questions coming in the preliminary also. Just search about. I don't know much details about the common this particular act, Compensatory Afforestation Fund Act. Yeah, this is about the civil service only. You can go through its regular essays comes on and off. You know, what is civil services and many other things would be there. You can go through this essay. Yeah, this essay is about the. We got an interesting scheme actually. ELI, I told the employment linked insurance scheme, and then we got another scheme also, a production linked insurance scheme. Incentive scheme actually. So both are kind of floated. Both the schemes, ELI and PLI, both are floated to give a fillip to the industry sector. Then in this background, this essay is being written actually. You can go through this. Actually, we got a skill development ministry also, separate ministry is also there. So this is the point. It's mentioned the India must design and operationalize and comprehensive national policy, international labor migration, skill-centered migration anchored for the fundamental pillars. So it asks for the policy. So can go through this. Major tracks is this only. it doesn't give any analysis of the existing skill development efforts of the government of India. Always it line outs only theoretical things. Regularly collect, generate, analyze, and the if you go to the MSME website, you know, a lot of training modules given for the young technically qualified persons, ITI, diploma, and engineers. A lot of skill development efforts have been taken by government of India. You can go through the website. I had already mentioned about the website. So, major problem in India still lacks the comprehensive policy architecture for international labor mobility. That is where the entire article is based on labor mobility and the location-based, you know, skilling. Basically, that's it. That's what it says. And data inadequacy. That's also another point. So this is the say that India is reliant on the China antimony, bismuth, cadmium, gallium, germanium, graphite, indium, and others. So this you can go through the China. Hindu always produce essay which is very sensitive to China. A lot of news items are close to China only. Hindu always produces news items close to China. I noted it. So this is another essay. So the steps, government established Kabil, a joint venture of three state-owned companies to secure overseas investors. Kabil. You can make note of this Kabil. Mineral security partnership and critical raw material club diversity supply sources. Also investing in research and R&D, GSI and the CSIR. A lot of things we mentioned. You can go through this. This also you can go through. So they call protected area permits. Any foreigner visiting this, they have to require, get the permission. So the PAP is being foreigners protected area order 1958. So you can go through this. In between, it was extended, and again, it is now reimposed. So, PAP, the act is called as PAP. You can make note of it. It's I don't think a question over it, but it's essential that you must know about it. PAP Act. Yeah. This is about AI. How does Google Gencast AI, which predicts the weather, work? And you can go through this. It's an interesting thing again on AI. Basically, Gencast is nothing but data mining only. These are all basically that numerical weather prediction. And then comes the that is the old technology through which the weather has been predicted. So it go for ensemble forecasting, but options in the ensemble comes from the AI model rather than numerical weather predicting. So they say that 40 years data had been reanalysis from 1979 to 2019. So it gives the most complete picture, they say. You can go through this for your own knowledge. how this GenCast is. So it goes for that. It's probabilistic rather than deterministic. There will be 20% chance of rain in Chennai on December 20, rather than there will be 5 millimeter rain in Chennai on December 25. You can imagine when their forecast says there will be 20% chance of rain. It's more, it doesn't say the numbers, numerical numbers, but it says that there will be 20% chance of rain in Chennai. You can feel the difference in predictive terminologies that they use. It is more it's more of translating that into a more understandable language. 5 millimeter is nobody will understand. When somebody says, well, there is only 25% of rain, people will be easily able to understand too. Yeah. So that experts have said published weather forecasts are better at revealing the possibility of extreme weather events also. So that's what they say. You can go through that. It's in Hindu only. Yeah, Jai Shankar is going on 6 day US visit will come today. So it's the first after the Trump visit. So Vikram Misri is also going there. Gautam Adani is also after Gautam Adani. This is the first visit after that. Cooperation, biotechnology, space cooperation, so several other things are there. You can go through this. And the news will come later. Actually, this you have to read it thoroughly. There are 2-3 important items are there. MSP, we said that already there is a recommendation from the panel, parliamentary panel for the legalization of MSP. So that you can imagine how the food chain. Yesterday we saw that instead of agriculture being looked at a production basket, we have to look at it as a food system. You can imagine the various issues, questions arise about it. Basically, MSP, rise of the rise of the prices, and the quality control. These are the major things, in which is which factors in the entire food chain. Only on these things questions are asked actually. Answers are in general. You can go through only once. I would not. But it would consolidate what are the major issues of the particular department, Food and Consumer Affairs Ministry, so that you can make note of it. This is that MFN status was withdrawn by Switzerland, but it says that the decision will not delay the ratification implementation of EFTA India TIPA. So that's what it says. Trade agreement. TIPA is Trade Economic and Partnership Agreement. India and four nation European Free Trade Agreement signed the pact, officially dubbed as TIPA in March. Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Norway and Switzerland. But it's said to be implemented. The decision will not delay the ratification. That's what it says. You can go through this. And this also you can go through. 13th amendment is in Sri Lanka. So it says that there is a lack of pressure from Tamil Nadu Sri Lankan parties, Tamil parties for this silence of the government. You can go through this. But not major things have not been discussed in this. What is 13A and how it affects the Tamil community there. has not been discussed in this essay. But it's very important for the FAIRS interview also. It's very important. I could not find a point that's relevant to 13A. Let us see. Actually, this is the essay about Department of Efficiency, government efficiency in shooting down CEO the premier. So this is the good governance essay. You can go through that. In the Indic ideas can impart more rigor to good governance. So it's on good governance. Since it's getting delayed, let me like to conclude quickly. This rest of the things you can read it for yourself. So these are very important essay. One is an economy. A lot many will come. You can go through this.